So, one of the most immediate differences between other languages and C is that C does not have a built-in string type. However, what C does have are chars, which are individual characters, and arrays, which are groups of variables. Long ago, someone very smart realized that this was all you need to make a string. A C string is just an array of chars. So, for example, we could have a char array x, and then we could assign to it some chars. Like that, and then you could go on like that. And so this x would now have the value a, b, c, dot, 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 dot. So, one thing that I didn't include in here is that you have to have a string end in a null character. This is C's way of knowing how long a string is, because a string does not carry with it any information about length. A null character is represented like this. At the end here, you would have something like this, /0. This, however, you might notice is very verbose. And I'm sure that you're familiar with something that looks like this from before. And in fact, if you get rid of these dots, these two, this assignment here and this string here are exactly equivalent. This is sort of shorthand for this expansion. So this is another way, and a much more concise way, of making a string. So, since C doesn't have a built-in string type, and we're just using arrays and chars to get around this fact, we have to be careful about some things. One big pitfall is testing for string equality. So, say that I wanted to do something like this. It makes sense, and anyone would agree, I think, that this should be true, but it's actually not true. The reason for that is that if you remember from the lecture about pointers and arrays are just pointers. So this is a pointer out somewhere, and this is a pointer out somewhere else. The chances that these two pointers are equal is very slim to null. Actually, it's not even slim. There's no possible way that they could be equal. In a later lecture, I'll show you how to actually compare two strings to see if they're equal.